Christmas is upon us, which means a lot of eating, drinking, socialising, eating, good telly, eating and eating and drinking. Yes, everyone puts on a few pounds during the holiday season, some more than others. But do you know what I love to do the most over the Christmas season? Give gifts and see the joy in their faces. When you remember to get that thing that they told you about the other thing, which reminds them of the big thing that happened in their lives? Oh no. No. What I love most is the gaming parts of Christmas. Okay, yeah, fine, the other bits are cool too, I guess. But anyway, here are some of my gaming Christmas memories. Hello everyone, Lexicon Gaming here. You there, and today we're feeling jolly. Because we're talking about nostalgia. Again! Woohoo! But before I get started, please let me know your favourite gaming Christmas memory. Let me know in the comments down below. I see and will reply to each and every one. Especially if you're on the nice list. And if you're new and you're still here, you might as well subscribe because you get more videos just like this one. Just hit the subscribe button and then the notification. Thanks. So the one I'm going to go over first is one of my most vivid childhood memories ever. And this one starts with my poor dad. I can remember just before Christmas he bought me a new game. I think it was for my birthday because it's in December. And that game, I believe, was Spyro Enter the Dragonfly. A PS2 game. I didn't have a PS2 yet. And he thought you could play PS2 games on the original PlayStation. I probably seemed heartbroken at the time, but I did. I understood. Bless him. So I was gifted this, and I remember being like, I don't think this will work. And my neighbour was there at the time, and he had a PS2, and he confirmed it. What my dad thought was, because you could play PS1 games on a PS2, he thought it worked the other way around. Again, bless him. With all of this in mind, in whatever year it was, Christmas morning rolled around, and just like most kids, I probably had about 2 hours of sleep. What could Santa have left me? What has my dad got me? I remember seeing a bit of a stack of things that looked like DVDs in the corner. And then I opened and started to realise, oh boy, he's done it again. More PS2 games. And I kind of looked at my dad with that face you pull when you pass an old lady in the street, but just like a little bit more sympathetic. And he apologised for what he had done again, and said that he might be able to get me one for my birthday. My birthday had already been, so I'd have to wait another year. It was time for the last present, and I was told to save the biggest one for last, so, you know, I obliged. That's what you do on Christmas. And I started to unwrap it. It was like a big box, and I was clawing away at it. And as I'm undoing the wrapping, I can see these letters and a number spelled out. PS2. And looking at it, I was confused. So look, I had the PlayStation, alright? I wasn't calling it the PS1 or the PlayStation 1. It was just the PlayStation to me. PlayStation 2. So anyway, I was eventually guided through what these letters represented and told very slowly, PlayStation, and then it hit me. PlayStation 2! Literally the only way I can describe the feeling is by... Yeah, you've all seen it before, I'll show it. I picked up the box and ran around the house with it because I just didn't know what to do. I couldn't contain myself. I was jumping up and down on the sofas, just screaming PS2. I was utterly and completely beside myself with excitement and absolute joy. I can finally play the new Spyro. Little did I know. And the new Crash Bandicoot. Little did I know. Actually, you know what? I love these games. So if you disagree with me, you can literally kiss my... Whoa. Went a bit off track there. But I do remember the look on the old man's face. You know the look I'm talking about. It's every parent, every Christmas morning when they get you the thing they told you they weren't going to get you. He bloody got me. Bless him. I'll probably always look back and consider this my favourite memory until I get to do it with my future kids someday. Are you enjoying so far? If you are, please like the video, it helps me a ton. Now for the next memory that I cherish so lovingly, we're sticking with PlayStation, but we're going next gen to the PS3. This is a big one in my life because it's the first console I actually bought with my own money. Granted, it was my Christmas and birthday money, mainly, but I could have spent that on sweets. Okay? Now, I have mentioned this story before on here previously, but I've never told it in its entirety, so basically all of my friends had a PS3 like a year, maybe even 2 years before I got mine, and that, when you're still a pup, still in school uniform, is a hell of a long time. And I hear the stories about this new console, HDMI, online play made easy, Call of Duty, and even Little Big Planet. And I wouldn't say I was in awe, I was flat out jealous. But I did have my older consoles to keep me going. I was lying to myself, I wanted that PS3. So once the Slim version came out, I decided it was time for me to get mine. Christmas 2009 was my time, finally. So the day after Christmas, Boxing Day, my dad drove me to my local game at the time. GameStop in other parts of the world. God, I don't even have a local game anymore. Anyway, we got there and I was pumped. This was my Christmas, my money being used, my time. Oh, we got there too early. It hadn't even opened yet. So we wait in the car. And please bear in mind, I was hoping to get the big PS3, the fat one, the big boy, because the Slim had come out, so I thought that one would be cheaper. I can get some more games. More money, more games. And I just loved the design on the original PlayStation 3. Not very practical, I know, but yeah, that sucker had some serious weight to it. And if I'm being honest, it just made me think I was playing the future, okay? So after waiting what felt like an age, the doors finally open and I just start running quicker than Hiccup to get the console. It's there. There's a poster of it, advertised the original PS3. So we get to the counter, I request it, and what I get back was, oh, sorry, we don't have that one, but we've got the Slim. My smile faded into the cold wintry morning, and my heart was shattered. I didn't say anything, I just looked at my dad and kind of gave him the, oh well. And completely out of character for my dad, by the way, he just let them have it. And I wouldn't usually agree to this. I'm that person, I can't complain. If my steak's not done well, I can't do it. I'm just not that kind of person. But while we were in the car waiting, they were sticking the posters up on the window to advertise this PS3 that they don't have. So, like, what the hell? Was it to get more people to ask so they could try and flog the Slim to them? I don't know. I don't know, but I was upset. My dad was angry, and off we went. Luckily, there was another game shop fairly close, so we just went there. We kind of told them what had happened, and to be honest, the guy was as shocked as we were that they were advertising a product that literally wasn't there. But also said that they didn't have any original PS3s either. But in the end, he did end up doing us quite a good deal, because we got the Slim, we got the original Modern Warfare, and we got Uncharted 2. Uncharted 2, there's not much more I need to say about that. The next up is some Nintendo. Finally, the Nintendo Wii, of all things. Now, I mentioned this briefly in my top 10 Mario games video, but I'll get to the nitty gritty here, and I'm pretty sure I misremembered some things. So, the year was 2006 and the future was here, baby. Motion controls were here, and here to stay. Well, not exactly, but this felt like a big move up at the time. And of course, I asked for it, but it was impossible. I was not expecting it at all, because it was just out of stock everywhere. Literally impossible for my stepmother and my dad to get it. Just wasn't happening. The demand, I remember the demand just being absolutely insane. Think of the toilet paper demand in 2020, and yeah, you're getting pretty close to the Wii demand in 2006. But then, my dastardly brother and his ways, he'd done it. Somehow, some way, he'd managed to snag himself the Nintendo Wii. The most prestigious piece of hardware at the time was under our tree. Now, I can't remember fully, I wish I could ask him, but I'm sure he wrapped it up himself and then opened it in front of all of us to kind of tell us that, you know, it wasn't just for him, it was for everyone. And we tried Endless Ocean, I think, and Wii Sports, and we had a good time. It was great. It was so monumental at the time. It really did feel like this was it. I'd eventually get Twilight Princess and play through that beauty. But it was the next year that Super Mario Galaxy was released. Now, the day itself, it was Christmas. It was a great day. I was super excited to open Super Mario Galaxy because by this point, the Wii had been moved directly into my bedroom. And yeah, it was an amazing Christmas. But I didn't play Mario Galaxy until the next day, and that's when Dan came into my bedroom and said, we need to play this now, because I'm looking it up and people are saying that it's insanely good, that it's one of the best games ever made. So play it we did, and it was everything everyone said it was. Graphics for the time blew us away and Mario was moving so fluidly. Even the motion controls were bearable. And I had one of those moments in gaming, I don't know what to call it, euphoric, it was like an epiphany. These are very rare moments for me. I had such a moment, just being in absolute awe of what I was seeing in front of me. And having my big brother sat next to me, and I kind of took a look and, okay, I think he's going through the exact same thing as me. Our jaws were almost on the floor, just looking at it. And that's what makes it one of my favourite, not just Christmas gaming memories, it's one of my favourite memories of all time. And finally, I guess we'll finish up with some GTA San Andreas. Yeah, and we'll keep it short and sweet, but basically I remember my mother's boyfriend at the time getting this for himself for Christmas, and every now and then I would sneak a go. But not long after they finished. Oh, and by the way, when I say he got this for Christmas, he literally got this. So if you're watching, I won't say your name, I do still have it for all the memories I made with this exact copy of San Andreas. Cheers!